Hey guys, it's Melissa. So, what I want to discuss basically today, what my topic is basically how a lot of us that suffer with PTSD or OCD live outside of ourselves. I don't know exactly. Most sufferers that I know, or even myself, I'm going to speak for myself, not other sufferers. For myself, I notice how like my body leaves itself and I'm like in another dimension. Like I'm living and I know I'm like here, I know I'm there. I'm completely aware of what I'm doing or what's happening. However, I'm living outside of myself instead of living through myself because of whatever fear I'm going through. I'm living in my past. So basically it's my body or my mind is doing this protective thing. But I don't need protection because I'm completely safe where I'm at. However, based on my trauma, I need a protection. And it gets me back into that loop. Because what trauma does to an individual, it takes you all the way back. See, trauma doesn't identify with time. Trauma can show up anytime it wants. It can show up when you're 50, it can show up in your 20s, it can show up whenever it is. Like it doesn't register time frame. Whenever the brain wants to bring it up or you have to face it, that's when it's time to be faced. We don't, although we know consciously we're not in that time frame, but your subconscious is really strong and it takes you into this loophole. So the conscious is not taking us into that loophole. It's your subconscious that you got to get control over, that you have to master. And it's really challenging to have to master that subconscious. So it's going to take more than talking. It's going to take more than just educating. It's going to take a lot of self-discipline, meditation, a lot of understanding who you are, a lot of self-reflection. Most people that suffer with PTSD or OCD don't want to be alone because they're afraid of what could happen or what they're capable of. Although they're not capable of anything. Sorry to keep moving. I'm sorry, guys. Just trying to get comfortable here. But I just want to see if anyone else experienced what I experienced. Like I said, your body, like for me, it's like I'm watching myself do all these things. So I'm not really experiencing them. Like if I go through a trauma, then I'm like basically coming outside of myself and watching things happen. Like a dream. Like in your dreams, think about it. You're not in your dream. You're actually watching your dream happen before your eyes, unfold. I know it's times that we have been in our dreams. I'm not going to say we haven't. But at the end of the day, even when you're in your dream, you're still not in your dream. You're still watching. You're still experiencing, seeing yourself. So trauma keeps you in that dream state. So if you ever experience trauma and things of that nature and you're doing things and you're woke and you're not really experiencing things, you're living in reality but in a dream. If that makes sense, you're watching things unfold. That's what depersonalization is. I think that's the term that they use for it. Whereas you deflect from whatever pain you feel or whatever that's happening that's triggering, and then you start to live outside of yourself instead of through yourself. It's not your true nature. So you have to get regrounded. Trauma is not it's not a pill you can take, if that's what you're thinking. It's not a magic wand gonna wave it away. It's not that simple. It's a fight. It's a fight for your life. So when people say the battlefield is not with the flesh, it's with the mind, ask yourself this question. Who the hell wants your mind? And why are we in a battlefield for our mind? Who wants your mind? And if they want your mind, why? So, this is more of a spiritual aspect of it, but I believe in spirituality and I believe in spiritual battles. But that's just me, everyone has their own way of healing, but me personally, we live in a culture where a lot of people are religious, so I take that seriously. Um, Personally, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. That's how I identify now. But I did grow up in a strong Catholicism background. I did my first Holy Communion. I did my confirmation. I did everything. I even went to Catholic education, as in my colleges. So, however, I'm just saying, if religion is saying this, and you feeling these things, start to question things more. A lot of us suffer, don't question enough. We just take whatever person say what's healing and we just adapt or adjust because we want that relief. That relief comes from within. And what works for me may not work for you. So you have to figure out what works for you. We all have our own way of healing. Music may work for one. Dancing may work for another. Animals may work for one. Or maybe you need all of them. Me personally, I need everything. Writing is therapeutic for me. My animals are therapeutic for me. My therapist is therapeutic for me. My education is therapeutic for me. My friends are therapeutic for me. My crystals are therapeutic for me. This is all my healing process. Poetry is healing for me. All of this, and my job is healing for me. People are healing for me. Learning another language is healing for me because I'm getting more into my roots, as in speaking Spanish more. So, I can't, these are all things that I did and I discovered. Swimming, these are all things for me that works for me. But I want everyone to figure out what works for them. Cleaning is therapeutic for me. Cooking is therapeutic for me. I have lots of options, and so do all of us. You just gotta find what works for you. So, this is not just a one thing, get it over with type of thing. This is a journey in discovering who you are and really a time to reflect of everything that you've gone through. Because anyone that suffers with PTSD and anxiety, it's a battle that we're in. A real one. And it's a scary battle. I understand. I'm right there with you guys. Reach out if you have any questions or concern or you want to know more about my healing process or just more about me. Check out my other videos too so you can get an idea of, what happened and how I ended up. Love you guys. Mwah.